Alrighty, folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the games. My name's Extreme Man. This is Shadowboy joining with me today. Shadowboy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. We've seen some pretty incredible games back and forth. No telling what's going to happen from one game to the next.
Yep, and right now we have Sanguine eSports versus Perfect Crime coming up. Two pretty good teams. This is going to be an interesting round. Sanguine eSports, like I mentioned earlier, so one of their players was competitively banned. So it's kind of interesting to see how these teams have reacted and adapted to this. They've been playing with, they were playing with this one player before, and now that he's been competitively banned, of course, it's kind of interesting to see how well Sanguine has adapted, and certainly we shall see the outcome here as we get into the picks and bans. First ban coming out already. It's going to be a Raijin. How unusual.
Just to go back to the statement you were making earlier, I mean, yeah, you can say all day it sucks to lose a teammate to a ban, but all in all, it's still a business. It's a professional industry. I mean, competitive gaming is something where, all right, well, we had to fire, or for whatever reason, we are not working with this individual. We need to replace him. If the person who works at a drive-thru got fired, they're not going to just say, all right, well, we can't have a restaurant now. They're going to replace him.
That is true.
Sanguine eSports, Perfect Crime already going through these bans rather quickly, and pretty normal overall. Nothing too surprising.
Well,
Athena, Radtasker, Kabrakan, Raijin, all very normal bans.
But there are some noticeable gods missing out here, and it looks like we're going to see an Kuang first pick there for Sanguine eSports. Very good targeted bans coming out for Sanguine eSports. So ban out the Kabrakan. If you're especially looking to pick it up, certain gods, there's also a Susano available on the table, and I assume Perfect Crime. Yep, Perfect Crime will pick up the Susano. So Sanguine eSports decided, hey, we can deal with Susano, but we get the Kuang. Might as well take it. So really good pickup there for Sanguine eSports. They're also going to pick up the Khepri in combination with the Kuang. I really like this. So ensure that the other team doesn't have the option to pick up Executes. And then Scylla as well for the last pick there. This is going to be Covey on that Scylla. That's going to be really interesting to see. Covey's a really good mid laner, and I expect to see some good stuff coming out of him.
All right, so Perfect Crime going to elect to pick up the Janus, and both teams shaping up to be high burst damage monsters. It's not going to be a bruiser bashing on either side so far. Sanguine eSports deciding on their ban right now is Perfect Crime did go for the Chiron ban, so electing to get rid of another hard to kill character is Khepri already makes it difficult, and just to add on top of that a death immunity ultimate would be a little challenging for Perfect Crime. So Beck going to be banned out by Sanguine eSports as well.
Yep. Just want to get rid of it. Sobek is just a strong support. He also has the option to interrupt the Khepri there if you pluck him or if you knock him up. It gets rid of any sort of CC he has from his silence grab thing, as well as Bacchus. That's that has the ability to interrupt the Khepri grab. I forget what the exact name of it is, but Bacchus ban coming out as well, and Ravana for the final ban on Perfect Crime, which means Perfect Crime will pick up their support here, and it's going to be a Geb.
Geb's very strong character. He's going to bring that health potential to aid in avoiding the threshold for a Kuang ultimate. Tyr and Anhur locked in for Sanguine eSports, so an all-around team composition for Sanguine eSports. I couldn't say that this is deadly focused on any particular objective other than having a strong lane and a decent mid game. Late game, they're giving it all over to Kuang and hoping he can do his thing. Meanwhile, Perfect Crime has Awilix, which is always hard to deal with. And with the knockup from Geb, the portal from Janus, the knockup from Susano even, actually every single one of them have some form of enabler for her ultimate. So she's going to have every opportunity possible to at least pull some kind of kill somewhere across the map. And they should try and leverage her ability to harass this Kuang, because that is going to be their win condition, in my opinion.
Yeah, I expect to see as well some early ganks going on to the duo lane here. That on her is especially nasty to deal with. or rather, it's especially nasty for an Awilix to grab. You can get some nasty behavior coming out there between the two, but we will see as we get into game here in just a moment. Sanguine eSports versus Perfect Crime. This is going to be a very interesting team comp. One of the first times we're actually going to see Kuang.
All right, so getting into the game, nothing too crazy happening as far as builds go. Kuang going with the Bumbas into the Imperial helmet. I always say the Dynasty one first. And then over on the other end, the jungler is electing for the Red Pot start.
Yeah, that's just kind of a matter of Ao Kuang wants a little more physical defense during the game, as well as the penetration certainly going to help out with his itemization in general. And he just scales really well with penetration, so that one of the reasons why they opt to go that start. But interesting note here, so Elpa Dog not opting for a potion start, instead looking to build up a Doom Orb with that Soulstone into a Lost Artifact start, and then Scylla opting for the Power Pot Soulstone. Yeah, it just seems like no one's using Vampiric Shroud anymore, man. I miss Vampiric Shroud.
I mean, I'm sure there's a couple of guys that would use it. I imagine that maybe even Zhang Kui. I mean, there's a couple of people who probably make utilization of it, but everyone's entitled to their own flavor of a build. For a long time, I thought that I would hate throwing dagger build, and I still to this day didn't like throwing dagger build that much, personally. So it's all about personal preference in certain aspects, and then in other ones, it's no. This build is guaranteed to be the best and most efficient for doing what you need to do. But a big rotation coming out onto the middle lane. They wanted to collapse onto the jungler and the middle laner, potentially get something there, but instead they're going to end up losing both mid camps if we see Sanguine eSports go for it in the next couple of seconds.
Yes, indeed. Now, nothing really too big happening on either side. The kind of aggressive start that Perfect Crime did opt to take led to them being a little behind, and in terms of at least wave clear, and that allowed Sanguine eSports to get the left-hand side mid camps pretty easily. Aggressing, maybe looking to try and aggress rather on her Khepri, but instead opts
pinching over in the middle lane. Ao Kuang is going to get some damage off as Janus used the portal to get to safety. Aggressing, going to take a lot of damage as well. He might be in a bit of a tough spot. Still electing to stick around way longer than he should have, but bit of a misplay by him. Might end up having to go back to base a little bit.
Yeah, he's got. I'm sure he's got some power or some health pots sticking, so he should be fine for now. But he definitely didn't want to use those this early. Anxiety sitting at level 4, so definitely he's waiting to get that level 5 online, waiting to get that execute up and running, and that's definitely why aggressing wants to use those health pots. Make sure that no execute is going to be coming out, as Mixati will hit level 5 here any second now.
Any second.
And so, come on.
Yep,
there we go.
There it is. So, level 5 is coming out, and a lot of characters across the map. You see it over in the middle lane mostly, and then I believe Tyr and the Susano are both level 5. And that match is pretty interesting. Hold on here. I'm a Monster connects onto ELPA Dog, and speaking of level 5, Tyr finds a kill onto the Susano as well. Interesting matchup turned into an interesting set of kills, as even over in the dual lane, ultimates are flying out from these members as they try to get the full board deicide, not even in unison.
Not quite in unison. Yeah, Susano just overstayed his welcome a little bit there. He got very low, and just the sustain coming out of Medieval was able to outbox the burst damage going out of Susano. And just Mr. Piggies took a little bit too much damage, and Medieval collapsed on him with a nice little ultimate over the wall and got the kill. So, First Blood going to Sanguine eSports, taking a look at the graphs. It's about 1,000 gold lead. XP difference is 700. It's a start. It's not, not the most powerful. It's not the most, powerful loss for Perfect Crime, but they're certainly not looking too happy here. But Little invasion
Ultimate
going on
comes
the red
out
buff.
over on the left side is Anhur, Khepri, and Scylla steal away the red buff, which is a big win for them. But now we're seeing that same level of investment over into trying to potentially get a whole Yi kill. Geb ultimate forced out, and Ratcheteer as well as Famous Hate walk away victoriously with a red buff and taking away Geb's ultimate.
Yeah, I bet they're pretty happy about that. They lost a little bit of health themselves, but they're gonna be fine. And I
Meanwhile, in the
think
solo lane,
ooh, Soul Lane is getting collapsed on here. Medieval gets a kill onto Mr. Piggies with a little help coming out from Anxiety there. This Susano is going to get bullied out for a long, long time. I think this is going to be a, all right, I'm going to sit on our tower and wait till the late game type of Susano coming out.
well, the comment I made earlier about flavor builds can be made also about flavor picks. Susano probably does have some variance of success against bruisers like Tyr. However, if you lose first blood over to Tyr, or if any kind of negative situation comes across your way, or if you even get ganked by the jungler, more than likely you're just not going to be able to keep up with characters like Tyr or Hercules or Chalk or anybody who's very bulky, just because that's the nature of Soul Lane. You have a lot of things you have to deal with.
Indeed, and especially the gank coming on Anxiety there. Certainly going to help compound that loss even more.
So, Fire Giant creeps are going to go over to Susano, mitigate some of the losses he's had. You take a look over at the graphs for a second. He's 3,400 in comparison to Tyr, who is 3,900, which makes up about 500 gold difference between the two teams. Now, results in about 2.5k.
In the mid lane, Ratcheteer immediately collapsed upon. Aggressing though, getting very low, the execute, not able to find it, but Covey finds the I'm a Monster over the top. Trying to get some damage out. Anxiety is still here. Mr. Piggies. Alright, Covey stole that kill with the crush there.
Alpha's going to go on the back line, find the kill onto the ELP, a dog. He's going to get jumped on by the whole Yi. More than likely not going to survive here, but his teammates are coming in to try and help him and are able to do so successfully. He's got a Khepri ultimate ticking onto him, and he's going to be able to survive. So good rotations out from the Tyr, as well as nice responses secure the life of their jungler, who was able to find a kill on the backside onto the Janus. Doesn't have an ultimate available on Janus, so they won't be able to defend this Gold Fury easily or at all, as Mr. Piggies makes his way over into the jungle in the mid lane.
Yeah, see, the problem with the numbers right now is that Covey stole, I want to say, like three of Anxiety's kills there. Covey is certainly starting to go off now, sitting at 4-0-0 on that Scylla. Probably still more than more than his fair share of Anxiety's kills there.
It's not a steal if you can carry. Kill steal if you can carry.
That's true. I think both gods acceptable to get a kill on, but Covey got collapsed on there by aggressing an Alpha Dog. Threw the dog out to try and escape, but aggressing just stun locked him, and then Alpha Dog came in there with the Unstable Vortex and put out the damage necessary.
Yeah, getting that kill is very crucial to him. Getting that shutdown goal is, as well as that slight momentum boost in your own emotional corner of the game. Because so far, it's not been a good showing for Perfect Crime. I mean, they've lost the soul lane entirely. There's nothing there for them. The middle lane hasn't necessarily went too well either. And dual lane, they've been stealing the red buff consistently for quite some time.
Yeah, Famous Hate is definitely playing incredibly well versus this. Ooh, another solo going on in the solo lane. I'm excited getting a little low here from the damage coming out of aggressing an Alpha Dog. Gonna back it off for now. No executes coming out. No kills coming out either. Ratcheteer just able to ensure the safety of his jungler there.
Mid Harpy's being contested over on the left side by OE as the rest of the members of Perfect Crime make their way over, but it is going to go entirely over to Sanguine eSports as they did start it up first. Covey 4-1, looking towards the Bancroft's Talon as opposed to the Book of Thoth start, which is just as effective and also brings a little bit of lifesteal into your pocket. And then over on the opposite end, Janus going for the Doom Orb start, which is interesting. He's died about 2 times now, so he's having some trouble keeping those stacks.
Yeah, the problem with because he started into that the why am I forgetting the name of that? The relic there, or the ritual artifact there. He's he's kind of locked into that Doom Orb starting, and unfortunately, with the amount of pressure that Mixiety and the rest of Sanguine eSports has been putting onto him, he can't really go into any other builds. He can't sell it. It's just he's just kind of stuck into that.
He could have went to Chronos Pendant.
He could have gone on to Chronos Pendant, but it's a very awkward. You don't normally go into Chronos Pendant. It's a very awkward scenario. But Flapping Tarts is getting collapsed upon here. Nice little ultimate coming out, but does not save him. Famous Hate gets the kill onto Aggressing. Another missed execute there coming out of Mixiety, stolen by someone else. And now Famous Hate and Mixiety here about to collapse onto RZ kill. Getting a good bit of damage out. Famous 8 does get the kill there onto RZ kill. Mixiety, he's been having his share of assists. He cannot get a kill though, and Covey just immediately blows up Alpha Dog.
Yeah, this is all around looking like a very hard time for Perfect Crime. All across the map, you just see kill after kill after kill, and when you get to a point where the entire map is lost for you, it's really hard to find any kind of win. You need to start rotating earlier as a group just to make any kind of play happen.
Yeah, taking a look at the graphs real quick. 6,800, almost 7,000 gold difference. At the 10-minute mark, that is very scary. And a 11,000 XP difference as well means you're not behind in gold, you're also behind in levels. You're just behind, period. Medieval, Aggressing and Mr. Pickies are here. They're going to try and put out the damage, but Medieval's just going to walk away. He's a tier. He's level 14 compared to level 11 on both Aggressing and Mr. Piggies. He's not afraid of them at all, and now Ratchet's here, grabbing himself a little geb there, but both going to back it off. Covey not really finding the damage there coming out of Crush.
Big grouping over towards the jungle as they are going to invest. There's the Abduct into the Crush, into the Famous Hate auto attack for the kill on the Aggressing. Rest of the members of Perfect Crime are going to back off. They recognize they can't do any kind of fighting under their own tower just because of sheer level and experience, level and gold difference. Janus still wants to try and come up potentially. Anhur goes for the leap, finds the impale, but doesn't find the pillar impale, which would have been the world of difference. As Janus throws out the portal for Huyi to potentially join the rest of their team.
Yeah, but then is the Huyi tries to go through the portal, but then is immediately zoned out there by Covey and Mixiety. Is now Sanguine eSports going to look towards the Skull Fury. They're going to take it with relative ease, as I don't think Medieval is just massively disrupting the backline there as tier. He's just trying to find something. He actually might even find a kill here on the Alpha Dog. Gap Shield does allow him to survive for now. Flapping Tarts has to use the ultimate just to stop them from going on to him. Alpha Dog gets cleaned up there by the ultimate of Famous 8. Medieval cleans up Flapping Tarts. Famous 8 getting a little low here, but the Khepri ultimate does go on to him. He survives for now, but Aggressing able to get the kill with the pole. Medieval cleans up RZ kill 50. And Mr. Piggies goes down as well. Aggressing, he's gotta get out of there right now. He knows the rest of Sanguine eSports is there.
Yeah, I wouldn't spend too much time chasing Aggressing. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. It's really hard to catch in Awilix, to be honest. So, looks like Aggressing should be able to escape here. Maybe not. Maybe not. Anxiety does have a lot of dash mechanics, or a lot of movement mechanics at his disposal as well. There it is. That's going to be the kill going over their way. Meanwhile, the rest of his teammates were focused on taking tier 2 tower over the middle lane. Might be able to get it. Scylla doesn't have a lot of base tower damage, but she is able to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, she is sitting at level 15 right now. 5-1-5. Has a full Bancroft's Talent online, shoots the Magi, and going into just bought that full Obsidian Shard, so sitting pretty happy right now. Medieval is here. They just stole the speed camp again. Surrender vote did come out there. I assume for Perfect Crime. I don't think Sanguine eSports is going to surrender this much of a I don't want to call it a stomp, but it's definitely an early snowball that turned into a very significant lead for Sanguine eSports now. The graphs, 11,000 gold, 17,000 XP. Oh, this is not a game that you can easily come back from.
It's not a game you can come back from at all. It's by some people's standards, but here it is. They're going to try and do it onto Medieval, who's really good about distracting everyone's attention. Still alive right now. Kobe able to find the first kill of the entire engagement, as Medieval was the only one they were able to successfully kill. And now one tiny Kobe is boarding off 4 different members of Perfect Crime.
They used, I believe it was, I want to say like 3 or 4 ultimates there to kill Medieval there. Ooh, Kobe getting his purification pop there. Oh, trying to find the ultimate onto Mr. Piggy's a little off the mark. And now Mr. Piggy's is going to disengage here. Ratcheteer is here to assist Kobe, maybe try and find some CC, but Mixity in the back line blows up RZ kill 50. As now the rest of Sanguine eSports have grouped up. They're going to push down this tier 2 tower. Teleport is coming through. Looks like Mr. Piggy's is coming back. Aggressing blows up Kobe, but Ratcheteer gets the kill there. Now it's a very aggressive turn. Mixity trying to blow up someone in the back line. He's taking a good bit of damage himself. The purification does pop out of aggressing Mixity. Gets the kill nevertheless, as now 3 members of Dive this tier 2. And tier 2 tower still with a lot of health in it. Famous 8 taking some damage. He does have to pop the signature to survive there from Alpha Dog. Oh, but now the Susano ultimate does come out. Mr. Piggy gets the kill on the Famous 8. This is a very, very bad engagement coming out of Sanguine eSports. Mixity is going to go down here as well, but not before he gets Mr. Piggy's.
Mr. Piggy's is taken out, and looks like the rest of the members of Sanguine eSports are just going to back off. Only the frontliners remain. But still, it looks like Medieval able to actually do quite a substantial, what was that ultimate? Quite a substantial amount of damage, as Janus nearly taken out, and Khepri unfortunately not able to do anything for himself either. So one auto attack, Medieval finds the kill under RZ kill.
Yeah, this has been a really awkward fight there coming out of Sanguine eSports. They're just slowly but surely feeding themselves. Diving in like this tier 2 tower here. Medieval not gonna find the kill, and he may actually end up going down here again. This has been just the longest extended team fight ever. Aggressing gets the kill, but Kobe trades it out. This is just a weird team fight. I don't know what's going on. Oh, Kobe gets a lot of damage there onto Alpha Dog, but Sanctuary will save him for now. Kobe's still here fighting 3v1 under the Fire Giant pit. Now Alpha Dog does go down. Kobe finds the kill. Mixity and Famous 8 are here. They're coming back for the second time. This has just been one extended team fight. I don't know what's going on.
Well, it looks like Mr. Piggy's is trying to back out of the fight after they've invested so much into it. Fire Giant is going to be started up, though. Khepri sees an opportunity, and they are going to go for it. Nobody nearby to defend this Fire Giant, so it looks like this one should go over to Sanguine eSports pretty easily, unless Yi is going to make a really big play. He does not have ultimate available, so he needs to try and do something soon if he wants to pull it off. And there it is. Came up just in time. They might be able to get it. Perfect Crime do walk away with the Fire Giant, and now they need to get everyone out as soon as possible if they want to keep this buff in their pocket. But unfortunately, they've already lost Aggressing, they've lost the Geb, they've lost the whole Yi, and now they're about to lose this Janus. There it is. Kuang up in the air, comes down right back onto his target, kills him off, and they're going to turn their attention over to the middle Phoenix.
Mixity has not been able to get an execute. His kills keep getting stolen. He's sitting at 5-1 and 15. 15 is way too many assists for now Kuang to have. He's just not been able to find the kills here. Oh, but Kobe taking a good bit of damage taken onto him from Mr. Piggy's, but Mixity finds the kill there. That's a deicide, and that is the game there for Sanguine eSports versus Perfect Crime. Perfect Crime had some opportunities there. They had the Fire Giant, and then they got decided, and that was the game. That was a comical end to one of the weirdest team fights I've ever seen. That was the longest extended team fight I think I've ever seen.
I mean, it went back and forth, and they saw a lot of opportunity, and on both sides, they both saw chances for them to finalize some kills or to make some big swing plays, and ultimately, it did look good for Perfect Crime a couple of times. But Sanguine eSports was so far ahead that it didn't really matter.
Yeah, Sanguine eSports just absolutely destroyed there. But good games to both teams. McSidy absolutely went off on that Ao Kuang. 6-1 and 15, only dying once to that very, very extended team fight.
Well, looks like we're going to see Sanguine eSports take this victory, and we'll get set up for the next round, or maybe even further, as we do have word from our admins that might be going straight to the tiebreaker here. So stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back. Thank you all again for watching. This is week 6 of Smite's Challenger Cup Series, brought to you by Tier Monster and hi-rez Studios. Stay tuned.